G'day guys, welcome to the Soccer at Lunch podcast. Before we get into it, just a special shout out to Craig, our recording bot in the Discord chat. Thank you.
Love Craig.
Great. We've got one of our guests here, Ben Spud. Welcome, good to have you.
Hey, great to be here, mate. Cheers for having me.
And we got Jack Tiller.
Yeah, g'day mate. Cheers for having me.
It's good to have these wonderful bunch of blokes on the podcast.
Cheers, mate.
Bit excited for our first episode, aren't we, boys?
Oh,
Sure.
We're a bit keen.
Understatement.
So first of all, I should introduce myself. I'm Harry Mead. I'm I suppose the co-CEO of the SMC Soccer at Lunch. I run the page with Spadavecchia,
Yeah, that's right.
and we got Tiller here, who's also a big part. He's a big say in the system.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
So first, I suppose we better introduce Soccer at Lunch for those who aren't familiar. So basically, Soccer at Lunch, it's just your average lunchtime game, soccer, but we just take it up to the next level. We've got a bit of an Insta page, sort of gathered a cult following, so it's been around since 2017. It was formed by Zach Mead. That's actually my brother, so a bit of runs in the family here
Runs in the family, yeah.
in Lunchtime Soccer. You'd love to see that. You'd love to see it.
Family
Yeah.
business.
I think it just sort of started off as a joke, to be honest. Bit of sarcasm, bit of cheek from young Zachy.
Bit of banter.
Yeah. We love a bit of banter here over at the Soccer at Lunch podcast, don't we, ever boys?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway,
look what it's turned into, boys?
yeah, it certainly has. We should mention there's just a massive culture. It's just become a part of our Year 12 identity, really, hasn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, how's it ever?
And I should also finish off by saying our games are played in the cage, which is basically what's the material called?
Oh, you'd say chicken mesh? Thick
Yeah.
chicken mesh?
Big
Hard,
mesh
cold steel?
Huh?
mesh fence with a few built-in goals. Nice little astroturf to get your knees dug into when you go for them. And big
Exactly.
slide tackles.
Those iconic slide tackles.
Love that. Yeah, we love a slide tackle here at the Soccer at Lunch podcast. Now, I suppose we should start off by asking the impact Soccer at Lunch has had on you boys. Tiller, do you want to talk about the impact it's had on you?
Oh, mate, I don't think Year 12 would be the same without lunchtime soccer. That's
No, definitely.
a reason to come to school, I reckon.
Yeah, I totally agree
I mean,
with you there.
It's definitely shown with some kids and just their commitment to it. And
Oh.
you see their commitment to their schoolwork and you just think amazing how they can be committed to something.
Yeah, excellent observation. I love that. And to be honest, Soccer at Lunch is the glue of Year 12. It's almost
True.
what's holding it together. It's the reason
that's a
some
great
people
way to
wake
put
up
it.
in the morning. Spuddy, you want to touch on the culture of it? The impact it's had on you?
Oh, it really just makes me, every time I wake up in the morning, I don't think of going to school. I think about going to play soccer with my mates and having a good time.
Too right, Spud. Too right. I
on,
think
that's it,
we should
mate.
also touch on the impact it's had on the school. This is a bit more of a serious question. I know there's been, maybe
of
the school's
speculation.
been in shambles recently with a Year 9 cohort that just seems to be can't do anything right at the moment.
Bit of trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to touch
Troublemakers.
on how we see ourselves as role models, Spud, for the young kids.
Oh, we'll put it this way, really show what we can do out there and how much of a positive impact soccer has on us. So really at least
Exactly.
these other children playing the game, just seeing what it's like and enjoying themselves, having a good time, getting away from all the, mischief.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's
Just having that competitiveness without having to resort to violence,
yeah,
which some
just
of
an energy release, really, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
Unreal.
a way of venting your energy, venting your frustrations, perhaps as well. I think it's really important.
I just
incredibly
think
important.
it's just amazing how we can have this competitiveness between us and then still be mates off the field.
Yeah, no, it is extraordinary.
It's really just a great connection, I reckon.
We
between
do
our-
take things seriously
and our
out in the cage. We definitely do pour our hearts into the game. And it's clear to see. I'm sure you have the highlights over on our Instagram page. That's just Soccer at Lunch, SMC Soccer at Lunch. Go check that out. Give it a follow. We got Spudder, the man behind the post. He's just we love Spud here at the SMC Soccer at Lunch podcast. He's all over the posts.
I tried to get to work on it. Cheers, mate.
Just love it.
We love
Brilliant
it. We
work.
love it. Next thing I sort of want to roll into and talk about is just how we sort of conduct ourselves on the field. I know we talked about being role models and all that, but it can get a bit heated. I know that tempers do flare, but as you touched on, Tiller, I think it's really impressive how we can all be mates. And Spot, I don't know if you want to just talk about how important that mateship is just on and off the field, I suppose, especially getting through year 12.
Oh, your mates, they're everything, I tell you. You know, having a hard time or something, they're there to pick you up. You know what I mean? Always there for you, letting you take your mind off things.
You wouldn't be able to make year 12 without your mates, I don't reckon.
Oh, it's not the same.
Definitely
Not
not.
the same.
No. All right, I suppose we should move on to, after touching on role models, the future of the page. We've had a pretty good group here. You see, we've got Leo Coates. He's been unable to join us on the podcast. He's also a co-captain with Ben Spudder. Spud captains one of his teams, the Heroes FC, and the other team, Tryhards United, led by myself and Jack Tiller. So we've got good structure set up, and all the boys, I'm being really impressed by the way they've thrown themselves. They've thrown themselves out there. Really, they've committed to the game. And Tiller, I'm sure you'd agree. You'd be impressed with the commitment you've seen from all the players this year.
Definitely. Most of the players, I reckon, the commitment to
most of the players. Few exceptions.
Lunchtime soccer is just impeccable. When you've got kids rocking up to school just solely to play soccer, I think it's an asset to the school. Really,
it's really a draw card. It really is a draw card. Yeah, no, maybe they should give some of the school fees to us. I don't know if the hierarchy's watching this, St. Mark's hierarchy, we could do with the sponsorship. I tell you what, I
reckon
first episode, but we're ambitious.
Pretty low on funds at the moment.
We're ambitious. Spud, mate, maybe you could start getting some of that promoting going on the page as well.
Oh, I reckon to enrol more students in our school, I reckon they just need to promote the soccer, really. That's about it.
Definitely.
Maybe some soccer at lunch scholarships.
I would love to see that. Would love to see an academy set up. Boy, oh boy.
Amazing.
Now moving on, we've got one of the more an element of the show we've been looking forward to. One of the more exciting elements, I suppose. It's the player ratings. Where we get to speak our opinions on what we think of who, you know what I mean. So, Tiller, do you want to kick us off with your top 4 players in SMC Lunchtime Soccer?
Definitely, I think not in any particular order. I reckon just 4 players thrown out there.
No.
Number 1, I reckon is going to go to a man that's in this podcast right now, and that's Ben Spud.
Get around him.
With his soccer background, it's just. He can change the game with just dribbling the field, can't take the ball off him, taking on the whole team, scoring a goal, that just changes the game, really.
It is frustrating when Spud's in that kind of mode. It is very frustrating, I'll tell you what, Spud.
I reckon next player would probably be Kynan Crouch, another player from a soccer background. I mean, just like Spud can take on the field, solo attack, score a goal, just lifts the entire team.
No, he's an impactful player. I would agree when you say that. Of course, he plays Tryhards United, yours and my team, Tiller, and we've seen his impact. It's unquestionable how good he is.
I think next player's got to be Bailey Congdon. I mean, just his worth ethic alone is just, outstanding. He's attack, defense, midfield, the whole package all at once. He's everywhere. And skillful as well. Talented.
He has the dribble. He can beat you off the dribble. Do not discount Bailey's dribbles.
Exactly. And then the last one, I reckon...
My bad.
It's all right. I reckon the last one I'll be going with... I'm a bit split between our 2 goalies, or our 2 main goalies, or was goalie. Leo and Steffi, who's now retired, sadly.
Poor Steffi.
Left school.
That back got the better of him in the end.
Yeah, that got the better of him. No,
Steffi,
but
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I'm very split between them. I mean, they're both very attacking goalkeepers, very strong goalkeepers.
They love a charge. They definitely love a charge.
Do love a charge. So yeah, I reckon that'd be my top 4.
No, I rate the call. Spud, you wanna roll on into yours, mate?
My top 4. All right. No particular order. Don't like to, reveal the rankings.
No rankings for Spud. All
No
right,
rankings.
we respect that. We respect that.
So the first two, they're in Jack's top 4 list. Go by the name. One of them goes by the name of Kind Crouch. I mean, basically what Jack said is just he's a force to be reckoned with. This guy.
He's got that soccer background, which a lot of us footy boys we envy, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We do.
He's just unreal on the ball. You can't take it when he's in the mood. Just unstoppable. Just does what he wants. Next one, Bailey Condon. Just work ethic, as Jack said. Doesn't stop. He's always running around trying to get the ball, putting his heart out there for the team. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, no, completely understand. I would say that is just an immense recruit. For those that don't know, Bailey came in a bit after the season had started, and Spud scooped him up quite swiftly, and he's been very impactful from day one.
Amazing pick.
Very
lottery pick. Just
props
really
to you, Spud.
good.
Thank you very much. Anyway, moving on. Move on to try hard boy, cemented at the back. Can't get past the fella. His name's Jack. Jack Tiller.
Our very own Jack Tiller, the podcast.
Very own. Here he is, right here. We're with him. As I said, can't get past him. You try to get a shot off, he's in the way. Just he's just unstoppable.
He's the brick shit house, really, isn't he?
Oh,
thank you, Harry.
Anyway, moving on. My last one. He's got some big legs. He's got some big legs.
You're taking too long.
Chafing's starting to take over.
You're not meant to. I was going to talk about you, chafing. Everybody mentioned it too early. For those that don't know, Tiller's had a few thigh troubles recently. With footy training started up again. Got the big COVID-19 thighs. He's got to get some fitness back into him. Lose some of the
footy training.
The width of the thighs.
I'm feeling it.
Anyway, my last pick. This bloke is under the radar. You wouldn't pick it. He's just you don't see him a lot throughout the game. Little spurts, he's everywhere. His name is Matt Fawcett.
Yeah, love that.
Definitely.
Absolute goal scorer. When he wants to be running amok, he'll run amok. He has lost a bit of form since the beginning. He was on an incredible run.
No,
Could not be stopped.
Yeah, he was
just banging in goals every game. He's starting to get his form back a little bit, which I rate. He's my star striker. Very, very early pick in the draft, Matt Fawcett was. But yeah, that's my 4.
It's worth it. I think that early pick, definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now I suppose I'll go over my top 4, and unlike you boys, I have ordered them. So apologies to listeners. This may be confusing. I'm sorry to throw a curveball like this, but I've got number 4 and 3 really hand in hand. The defenders for Try Hard United. We've already touched on Jack Tiller. I've got Jack Tiller number 3, Tom Huxtable number 4. They're just the dynamic duo. No one gets past them. No. Well, not very easily, at least anyway.
Huxie definitely works well with me, I reckon.
Yeah, no, there's some sort of chemistry between you blokes that I cannot explain. But
chemistry.
I'm just counting my lucky stars that I picked up the both of yous. Of course, we'll probably touch on in later episodes Huxie, his famous flying knee when he comes up, leaps in the air. That knee just flying through the air and strikes the ball, sends it down to the other end of the field. God, that makes me just
talk about how he's done all of this with his injury.
He's injury prone bloke, young Huxie. But he has struggled with a few injuries here and there, and it's sad to think what could have been. He could have been so much better. Who knows? We're just happy with how good he is right now because he is a valuable asset. Tills, I touched on you a bit. You know, no one gets past you. Enough said. That's Tiller. That's what he does. Number 2, got Congo. He's featured on both Spud and Tills' list.
Unreal.
And work ethic.
Unreal.
He would nearly be number 1, except discipline. Real issue for Congo. Comes in with those sliding tackles. He does rip up his legs a few times. So
you really don't want to get in the head of Congo.
No, you don't. You really don't want to do that.
Bit tempered, I reckon. It's a good way to put it.
Fiery player, but we do love him. That he
we rate that.
Yeah, Soccer at Lunch podcast. We do love his fiery ways, I suppose you could say.
And that's number 1. The same.
No, he wouldn't. That's his game style. Congo, he plays with heart. But number 1, Spud, mate, don't get too big of a head, but I've got you down. So just chill out, mate. I don't want to talk about Spud too much, if I'm honest. But if I wasn't out on the field stopping him, defending him, he would be banging in 3 goals a game.
Unstoppable.
Nah. But even a quality player like me, he beats me still constantly. No, Spud quality, absolute quality. And before I forget, worst player, just 1 nomination. I think we got enough time for you, Spud. You want to go first and you jot down your nomination?
Nomination. Nomination would be the KFC boy, Jesse Smith.
Jesse Pumba Smith.
He's just, there's not much to say about him. He's just incredibly bad.
Put it lightly. I like that, Sputter. Put it lightly.
Just work ethic, not there at all. He does manage to bang in a couple goals every now and again. He doesn't let go of his water bottle. He carries that around the field with him.
That did get chatted in a game against Year 11. That'll go down in Soccer at Lunch folklore. Jesse's water bottle got shattered by a penalty.
That's true.
He was pretty sad after that day.
He was disappointed. That hit home.
Also, is pretty injury prone, Jesse, must say. Patrick O'Day giving him a big leg in the head.
To the face.
Nice.
He did milk up the attention. We know Jesse loves his attention.
But that's all I've got about Jesse anyway.
All right. Rate the cool. Tiller, mate. Worst player.
Well, I would almost say Jesse as well, but if we're going to have 2 people here, I mean, not that he's bad. I don't think he's actually a bad player. Like he would, if he's on your team, I reckon he'd be helpful, but his form in front of goals, this is Jay Norton I'm talking about.
Jay, this has got to hurt, Jay. Deep down.
I mean, he's not a bad player. I mean, he'd help your team, but some of those missed opportunities in front of goals.
He's squandered far too many opportunities. It's not good enough. And, that really starts to show when you get Spud going off his absolutely chops on the soccer field. And, Spud loves to dish out the tips. Jay, keep your head over the ball. Keep your head over the ball.
Keep your head over the ball, mate.
Jay has been spotted just staring blankly up into the sky as he's winding up for his shots. So I don't know if it's getting through, Spud.
I'm not an attacker. I'm a defender, so I don't know what it's like to be under the pressure of scoring goals, but a couple of those wide open goals, you got to be putting them away, I reckon.
Boy, that is fair enough, yeah.
Got to be putting the kids to bed like that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, I think that's just about all I really want to talk about, boys. Any final comments? Anything else you want to add, Tiller?
Oh, not really.
No, that's all good, Spud. Anything else to say before we pack up?
That was it. I love the chat.
No, good chats. Have to do it again sometime. Look into making this maybe a once a week thing.
Daily.
If this gets out to listeners though, please let us know if you'd like to hear more, or if we're just really boring. We think we're quite interesting, but we're going to need some feedback.
Give us some ideas as well.
Yeah, definitely send through some ideas. We've got plenty
check
for
out the
future
team?
episodes.
Sorry,
Tiller, bro.
Want to check out the team? Hazel plug in the SMC
Insta
page where they're located.
Yeah, just go Instagram SMC Soccer at Lunch. That's SMC Soccer AT Lunch. So just plug that into your Insta, chuck a follow, and keep up to date. Not going to lie, it's been quite dead at the moment. We might look to give the page a bit of revival, but there's plenty of content there for first-time listeners to enjoy. Spud does a great job on the promos.
Definitely.
I appreciate it, mate.
I think that's about it from me. So to the listeners, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers. See you later.
Gotcha.